Wait, did I screw myself over with going for the Hailstorm? I was expecting a Dynamax there. YouTube, today I reconstructed John Who's Lugia team that he used at the Indianapolis Regional Championship to get top 32. It was featured on stream. And I thought, you know, I haven't really shown Lugia because I've been very underwhelmed with Lugia. I played a few games with this team earlier and it is still pretty underwhelming, but we'll just see how it goes. Maybe it can impress me in this episode, maybe it won't, but we'll find out. But if you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. If you want to check out the details of the team, my recreation down below in the description alongside John Who's Twitter. But otherwise, let's get started and play some games. Calyx, Shadow Rider, Zacian, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Blastoise, Regieleki. This is difficult but manageable. There's like quite a few things I don't like about this matchup. There's some things that are like okay about this matchup. Blastoise is not exactly ideal here. I could go with a Venusaur route, and Venusaur technically can go for a Sleep Powder shenanigans against my opposed team. Definitely a possibility. Although it's kind of like mind games depending on the Blastoise, because if it is fake out, then it's like a mind game of if I lead Venusaur and they lead something like a Blastoise Eleki, do they go for like a fake out Airstream? Although with Groudon, I don't think that's going to be the case, but definitely could be. I like the Grimmsnarl lead here. I do like Grimmsnarl as a lead. I like Lugia as well, but I like Incineroar too. The only problem is I wouldn't want to lead Incineroar is because of the Blastoise right there. But I wouldn't mind leading Groudon, just getting the setup immediately, so the Canade's really not doing that much damage to me. And I kind of like that alongside Lugia and Incineroar, I think. I also like having Incineroar as a switch into Zacian if it leads here. And I think my lead's pretty good against the majority of my opponent's team. I think I'm gonna go for an endgame Dynamax. I don't know, because it looks tricky because Calyx Shadow Rider, of course, if it has Snarl, it's gonna lower my damage output. It might be Energy Ball on this team with the Blastoise, but we'll find out. It's going to be the Regieleki Rillaboom lead. Okay. Incineroar lead would have been fine, it looks like. But all right, I lead the Groudon plus the Grimmsnarl right here. I don't know what to really expect right here. The Drought is going to go off before the Grassy Surge, so my Groudon is faster than the Eleki. Good to know. I would like to probably go for a Light Screen here, or a Light Screen's probably the call here. Yeah, I would like to get a Light Screen up if possible. I want to go to Incin for an Intimidate right here because I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if Rillaboom's going to U-turn out. It could just fake out my Grimmsnarl. They could go for a double up in the Grimmsnarl, which I think it only KOs if the Eleki specifically is a Life Orb variant and is special, because I think with Intimidate, I'll probably live a physical variant. But I don't know. Would you really Dynamax the Eleki against a Groudon in this position? If you like trade a Max Lightning fake out in the Grimmsnarl for a Christmas Blades into Eleki, you're in a really awful spot in my opinion. So let's see. We will switch out to Groudon here. Looks like Eleki is going to stay in and not switch out. It could be a Volt Switch, could be just a Thunderbolt here. We will see. The Incineroar is going to come out, bring out the Intimidate for both Pokemon in case this is Woodhammer from the Rillaboom. We're going to see a Dynamax here. I don't know if this is Eleki or it could be the Rillaboom. A Rillaboom could make a lot of sense here because they could be going for a Max Grass here, but it is going to be the Dynamax Eleki. All right, I am a little bit concerned. What are you going for here? Because brain this out. I guess Incineroar Precious Blades could have worked as a play, but instead of this, let's see. We get a Light Screen up though. Okay, really solid. This is probably Woodhammer and Max Lightning then. No, Airstream. Okay, that works out really well for me. So it's physical Eleki confirmed then. I wasn't sure if it was physical Eleki, but this is really good to confirm that information. We will see that Airstream does come out from the Eleki, and the Rillaboom probably going to follow up with a Woodhammer, I imagine. A Life Orb on the Eleki. Okay, I don't know if it's mixed then. A Woodhammer is going to come out into the Incineroar. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful right there. Okay, nice. We could go for a... Do I want to just Flare Blitz the Rillaboom or do I want a Parting Shot? Because I wouldn't mind going for either play here. I definitely want to go for a Reflect here because it covers the Eleki right here. And I don't know what I want to do. I could also go into Groudon for the Grimmsnarl, but that's a little bit risky if they go for a... I don't think you go for a Woodhammer and a Grimmsnarl, but it's a potential possibility. I think I'd rather just Reflect up here, and I think I'd rather just Parting Shot out the Rillaboom slot here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna parting shot the real. I don't know if it's protect or not, but we'll find out. Here I see the swap here into the Zacian. Oh, Flareless would have been great there. Although this is still okay because I think Groudon gets in a really comfortable position. They might have went for a lightning. I don't know into which slot. Either is okay, I think, because I should be able to survive with both Pokemon, unless again, Life Orb, Rising Voltage, Max Lightning would probably knock out my Grimmsnarl at this range, even with Light Screen. But it's gonna target my Incineroar. Okay. Incineroar, definitely has to be a special. I think that has to be a special variant, or at least mixed, right? I think that is off Rising Voltage. It did so much to my Incineroar, but we are in an okay spot because we do get a parting shot off into the Zacian. We have our screens up, which is really good, and now Groudon can come in and we can go for quite a few things. Bulk up is like really tempting here, and I do like the bulk up and a Thunder Wave into the Zacian slot, and I really do like that as an option here. I think I am going to go for it. I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave here into the Zacian. I'm going to go for the bulk up because setting up the bulk up for dealing with the Rillaboom seems really nice because we'll take the attacks better. Let's see how this rest of the game is going to go to plan though. We are going to see no protect. Okay, a Thunder Wave is going to come out in the Zacian. The Zacian is at neutral attack, and I am faster with my Groudon thanks to the Thunder Wave. A Max Lightning going to come out into Grimmsnarl, which probably KOs with the electric terrain. Yep, I'm okay with that. Okay, goodbye Grimmsnarl, but you did your job well. We will get a bulk up with our Groudon, and next turn Airstream Precipice Blades looks so good into my opponent. I mean, so good. We're gonna see a Behemoth Blade be fired off into the Groudon, but this is not gonna be able to pick up a knockup by far, so Groudon will be able to hang on. Yeah, look at that damage. That damage was very, very pitiful. Okay, that works out huge in my favor. I can bring out my Lugia here, and Lugia can go for whatever it really wants to. I guess I could go for an Airstream, I suppose, and I could go for Precipice Blaze. That's really tempting here. Rising Voltage, well, I guess Rising Voltage doesn't get the same power boost right here, so that's actually pretty big. I'm gonna go for the max Airstream. I'm gonna target down the Zacian slot. I'm just gonna go for Precipice Blades here. Yeah, I think that's okay. If they go Calyrex is the only Pokemon I'm a little bit concerned about in this endgame because Astral Barrage is going to be a little bit demonic, especially if my multiscale gets broken here. But in order to break my multiscale, they have to like go for an attack on the Lugia, and if they attack my Lugia, that's a policy activation. I also wonder if they would bounce, but I think bounce isn't really that great of a play here because then I just pin that slot. So I don't think bounce is coming out, but we'll see. I targeted the Zacian because it should be always a guaranteed Airstream for me here. We'll find out. Gonna be a Rising Voltage. Yep. Okay, doesn't really do much damage because of Light Screen. Lugia's not affected by electric terrain, so you don't get the double base power. And yeah, we're in a really good spot with Lugia. Policy activation on deck. The Life Orb revealed. The Airstream gonna come out into the Zacian for some extra damage right there. And oh boy, this is actually going to work better than I expect because we get an Airstream up, we get a Precipice Blaze, and so we have both here, and we will knock out both Pokemon with the bulk up Groudon. So Precipice Blade is going to be fired off and pick up the knockout into both Pokemon. I am very surprised. Okay, this is better than I expected, but Calyrex can still be scary in the back if they crit me though. If they don't crit me, I'm fine. Like, yeah, if they don't crit me, I'm like, okay. But that's pretty much the story with everything, right? That's pretty much the story with everything. They did activate the Policy on Lugia, so I think I'm going to Airstream. I don't want to Airstream. Calyrex comes in alongside the Rillaboom. I think I always just Airstream the Calyrex slot, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I Airstream the Calyrex slot and protect the Groudon because they could fake out Astral Barrage crit. And I don't think Astral Barrage crit can knock out Lugia, but it definitely could knock out my Groudon with the combination of a Rillaboom attack. Actually, the Calyrex has to be like really offensive, I think, in order to do that. But yeah, we're going to Airstream and protect here. I get the healing back with the grassy terrain and leftovers. I get to break the sash on Calyrex since it should be focus sash on this team. And then be pretty solid. Grassy Glide going to come out, hoping for a crit in the Groudon or trying to put in range of that Astral Barrage. A Airstream is going to come out into the Calyrex. How much damage? It is focus sash. Okay, confirmed. Good to confirm right there. What are you going for? If you have Trick Room, it should be okay. If you have Trick Room, then I don't think it changes much. I just attack into the protect and then I should be good. Then Incineroar is actually a pretty big threat under Trick Room, but yeah, an Astral Barrage is going to be fight off. And even if you crit me, I think I'm fine. Yeah, Lugia takes that well. I'm pretty sure we're taking a crit, but if Lugia got crit there, I mean, I think Incineroar comes in, I fake out the Rillaboom. I just have to hit a Rock Slide at that point. But yeah, we should have enough firepower to seal this deal right here. I go for... what do I want to go for? Quake, I guess? I mean, what do I do into Calyrex? I don't want... I guess I Quake here because I don't need to use Aeroblast power points, and I go for a Rock Slide here. It really doesn't matter because I don't think the Rillaboom can beat me at this point. Yeah, they do realize that my Lugia outspeeds. I KO the Calyrex and they don't really have a safe position. Even if I just KO the Rillaboom, like, it's really likely. Okay, so I think they would have to hope for... they Grassy Glide, crit my Groudon, pick up the knockout. I target down their Rillaboom, and then they have to Ash Barrage crit, so they need double crit there and me to misplay in order to win that game. But yeah, it's like really unlikely. I just target down the Calyrex and I always am able to set up the game there. But wow, was actually surprised. Bulk Up Groudon actually being really good in that position. Of course, they were forced to bring Eliki, it looked like, but I guess to deal with the Lugia. I was surprised Blastoise wasn't brought, but maybe they just was like under the sun. It's not really doing that much otherwise, so it ended up really working out for me. I was able to get like a lot of pressure with Bulk Up Groudon, setting it up with the screens and then Lugia Airstream boost for the end game, which was actually really nice. Incineroar, Zekrom, Indy, Kyogre, Ferrothorn, and the Whimsicott. Oh, this is oh Jesus, bad. I mean, Zekrom is pretty tough because it goes through a multi-scale with Terravolts, which makes this matchup really obnoxious. And I guess Groudon can kind of help, but oh, this is not exactly pleasant to face. I probably want to go with like Grimmsnarl and Incineroar unless they lead hard with like Kyogre, which they could. I don't expect it. I think Zekrom's a way more threatening Pokemon here, but we'll find out, I guess. And then in the back, I think it's Lugia and the Groudon. Oh, this is tough. I don't want to bring Venusaur in this matchup. I feel like Venusaur does nothing here, and then Regieleki, not exactly that great against Ferrothorn, Whimsicott, and Zekrom. Decent against Kyogre, but really nothing else that really stands out here. I will try to set up for a Lugia endgame. I do have to get my Groudon into a good position immediately with Precipice Blaze. We do see an Indy Zekrom lead, which I'm not too surprised about. Okay, and that makes sense, as we do lead Grimmsnarl and Incineroar. I don't have Burn Jelsi, which could have been nice here, but this is still like an okay trade-off here. This could be Kyogre trying to come in for a slot. I don't know which slot they would target here. I could see Kyogre for the Zekrom or Kyogre for the Indeedee. I don't know which slot they would go for, but I'm going to set up a Reflect here because a Reflect is pretty nice. And then I'm going to try to bring in my Groudon via Parting Shot. The question is, who am I Parting Shotting? A Psychic Seed on the Zekrom. Oh, White Herb. Okay. I was about to say, so that means it should be physical 100%, unless it's a White Herb Draco Meteor, which I don't think you're really going to run here. I don't think it's worth. So let's go for a Parting Shot into the Zekrom. Let's go for a Reflect here. We're going to see a Follow Me come out. Okay, no Kyogre repositioning. Okay, that's nice because my Groudon can come in and deal some work. We're going to get a Reflect up. Okay, and Dragon Dance? Yeah, Dragon Dance. Okay, that's cool. Dragon Dance is not that big of a deal, especially I don't think Dragon Dance is that big of a deal. As long as I can hit it with Precipice Blades for a lot of damage, I think we're okay. A Parting Shot is going to come out into the Indeedee right here, and just dealing with the I don't want to Quake. I do want to bring out the Groudon 100%, and then the question is, Kyogre coming in, or are they going to go for... Well, Follow Me makes no sense here. I would like a Light Screen up if possible, but I don't know if that's really the right call here. This Grimmsnarl is just a little bit difficult. I do kind of... Light Screen's probably my best call. I think it's Light Screen and go for Precipice Blaze immediately. I just don't know if they're going to go for Max Dragon, but we should be able to take it okay with the Reflect Up and the fact they're only at neutral. They are going to Dynamax the Zekrom here. Okay. This could be Max Dragon into Groudon. This is going to do a lot. Helping Hand especially, which I imagine is coming out. Maybe I could have Dynamaxed the Groudon, but I really wanted Dynamax the Lugia first because I feel like if I Dynamax Groudon now, I'm going to have like no pressure against the Kyogre once it comes out. We're going to see the Helping Hand out, which is no surprise here. Maybe Incineroar was the right call, but we are going to get a Light Screen up. All right, this is Max Dragon off Dragon Claw. It is at +1 attack, actually. Oh, wait, it's +1 attack with Helping Hand. Groudon does take it, not super well, but it does take it. Okay. Maybe, I mean, this is probably okay because I can cycle in Intimidate. All right, we get a decent hit off into the Zekrom and the Indy right here. It's just weird because the Grimmsnarl can't accomplish anything. I think I'm just gonna go out into Incineroar right here for the, or yeah, because they might go for a attack into the Grimmsnarl slot instead if they expect the Groudon to protect. I just want to fire off a Precipice Blades once again. I think I want to get the damage. Yeah, if I lose Groudon, it's not too bad. We're gonna see the Indy retreat here into the Kyogre. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so Kyogre is gonna come in. Not too surprising. Let's find out what the Zekrom's gonna do this upcoming turn, which is probably Max Dragon here. If they max Lightning my, or max, yeah, they would max Lightning here my Grimmsnarl. If they max Lightning my Grimmsnarl, that's a little bit awkward, but I mean, I do at least get Precipice Blades damage off into both, and then I probably sack Grimmsnarl plus my Incineroar the upcoming turn. They do go for the Max Whirlwind. They are going to tire down my Groudon once again. Okay. So I did get an Intimidate off into the Zekrom once again, which is pretty important. Now I can bring out my huge Lugia, and hopefully Lugia will be able to actually do something because that's going to be pretty crucial. We are going to go hard into Lugia right here. And we're going to go... If this is Scarf Kyogre, this actually might be beneficial because the fact that Scarf Kyogre Water Spout goes off before. Like, I'll have multi-scale for the Water Spout. But we'll see. I am going to go for the Grimmsnarl switch here because I do need to preserve resources. And we will go for an Airstream into the Kyogre. Then we can worry about targeting down the Zekrom with super effective attacks. Let's see how this is going to go. Into Grimmsnarl. And then... Dynamax Lugia. I don't know if this is gonna work. We'll see. We're trying to make this work here, but this matchup just looks awful, and I mean awful. We bring out the Lugia here, and we'll find out. We'll find out if the Lugia can actually do something. I have no clue. We're gonna see the Kyogre go for the Water Spout. Okay, that's probably the most ideal case because Terravolt would have ignored my multi-skill. Anyway, they go for a Lightning and the Lugia. Perfect. They activate my policy. A Lugia takes that not extremely well, but doable here. Okay, perfect. And it is confirmed to be Scarf Kyogre, so it really doesn't do that much damage to me. This is pretty fantastic, actually. We will get to the policy activation on the Lugia here. Perfect. And then upcoming turn, let's see how much this Airstream does. It's definitely not going to knock out Kyogre. Kyogre is definitely a bulky Pokemon. Yeah, it definitely does not knock out the Kyogre right here. But the Airstream boost is going to be important for Lugia to outspeed the Zekrom upcoming. And now we can go for a Incineroar swap here into whatever else we want to decide to go for. Do we go for a Quake here, I guess? A Quake is probably not that bad. I'm definitely going Incineroar here. And I could Hailstorm to change the weather, but the weather doesn't really affect me at the moment. So I might as well just go for a Quake into the Zekrom right here. I get some damage off. And if they like don't have Protect or they don't go for the Protect, I do get a very nice max Quake off. They go on a Whimsicott. So I imagine this is perfect because Incineroar is great for A, Intimidate into the Zekrom, and B, faking out the Whimsicott and preventing a switcheroo or something the following turn if that is going to be the case. And Intimidate going to be fired off into the Whimsicott. And let's see what the Zekrom's going for here. A Protect? No Protect. Oh, that's awesome for me. So I am able to get the max Quake off into the Zekrom. And you know what? I was not believing in Lugia earlier, but maybe I should start believing now because Lugia is going to be able to, okay, knock out the Zekrom, a revenge sweeping right here. Like, we might actually revenge sweep my opponent's entire team at this point. This should be Indy coming in, I think, right? Indy, or no, it should be Kyogre and then trying to hard swap to Indy. I think that would be probably your play, but let's see. Gonna be Indy. Oh, just hard Indy. Okay, perfect. All right, Psychic Terrain's reset, which is cool. Okay, I go for, how many turns of screens are left? 4 turns of light screen. That's good enough for me. I want to go for, I think hard swapping is always the play here. I think going hard into Grim. I'm trying to think. I do think hard into Grim is correct. And I think it's Airstreaming the Whimsicott slot. Let's see how this is going to work this upcoming turn. There are some complications here, however, still very manageable. I mean, maybe. I mean, the Scarf Kyogre with helping hand pressure is going to be really tough to deal with. We do see a Protect from the Indy. Is this Sash Whimsicott? If it's Sash Whimsicott, we're in a really good spot because we can isolate the Kyogre, which would be really good here. Tailwind. So we go for a Airstream here into the Whimsicott. Nice. It is Focus Sash. That's actually really good for us that the Kyogre doesn't get the free switch here. Okay. So that is nice that, okay, it's also not Switcheroo, no Koba Berry, perfect. Now Incineroar can probably come back in. I don't think this is Encore Whimsicott. It could be, but I really don't see it. You're not going to risk switching in your Kyogre here, that's for sure. I think we just go back in Incineroar and we click Protect, and then next turn we go for a Aeroblast and Throat Chop. And then we stall out these terrain. They actually hard swapped into the Kyogre. Oh, that is aggressive here. If Lugia can survive the Origin Pulse, then we're in this. But that's was not expecting the hard swap there. That's a risk it all play right there. All right, Intimidate. Good play on their part though, because I really didn't think they were gonna risk the Kyogre, but. I guess they probably called the coming in here. They did go for the taunt into the Lugia. Okay. Rain stops though, which means my Lugia should always live a Kyogre attack. So actually, this play is probably to always... I see what they're trying to do. Okay. I think it's always just Throat Chop the Kyogre. Because they have 2 turns of Tailwind. I see what they're trying to do here. I need to think about this because if they switch out Kyogre to Indy and I take 2 knockouts here, it's a little bit awkward because if they taunt my Lugia, then yeah, it does become strange. Yeah, it would become strange here. I gotta make sure I position this right. I think I Parting Shot out the Kyogre and I think I Blizzard. Let's see. Actually, wait, no, this is a really bad play on my part. No, this is a really bad play on my part. The Indy is going to come in. Oh, wait, no, the Indy was healthy enough. Okay. So Taunt is going to come on the Lugia. That's fine. If I miss the Blizzards into specifically the Whimsicott, it's cool. Okay, that actually is really good there. That's actually really good. I get the Blizzard off in the Indy if I end up Parting Shot. Okay. That's actually pretty nice because now the Whimsicott is around and still can't do anything to my team. And my Lugia is still around pretty healthily. Okay. That's actually pretty good here. All right, Grimmsnarl. If otherwise, then I just have to hope that a Lugia can live Origin Pulse in the rain with Light Screen. Reflectus goes down. I need to stay in so I can have that extra turn of Light Screen. We are going to go for a... I mean, it really doesn't do much. I guess I set up a Reflect here because in case it's physical Whimsicott, but I'm not really expecting too much here. And I'm going to go for an Earth Power into the Whimsicott here. Yeah, Earth Power and the Whimsicott's fine. I don't think they're hard swapping the Indy out this time around. If they Protect, that's cool too. They don't really get much out of... because they're going to reset Tailwind. But as long as I stall out Psychic Terrain, because I have Sucker Punch, I'm in a good spot, right? So stalling out the Psychic Terrain turns also benefit me here. Earth Power into the Protect. We're going to see a Expanding Force coming out. Okay. It's really not going to do much damage to my Lugia at all with the... Light Screen, the Psychic Terrain, the +1, you know, like we have all those benefits. Light Screen's over, perfect. We can go for a Light Screen here. We can go for that Earth Power. We're gonna always Earth Power the... yeah, we're gonna Earth Power. Last turn of Taunt, last turn of Psychic Terrain. Beautiful. So we pinned the Indy right here, because even if they yeah, because if they switch out Indy, they lose their Kyogre, so they 100% lose the game. And if their Indy stayed in and protected, they can't really do much. And if they switch out Whimsicott and Protect, which would be like their best position, then it doesn't matter because I could I guess I could rely on the Blizzard in that case. But yeah, we catch the Kyogre on the switch here, and that's beautiful. So I set up a Light Screen. I go for a... because I also had Sucker Punch Strike, which was a big part. I think they were also trying to play around Sucker Punch too. And since this is the last turn of Psychic Terrain, they really didn't have many options to play around Psychic Terrain alongside preserving the Kyogre. So... oh man, Lugia. Okay. Okay. I was really worried that I wouldn't have enough offensive pressure to win this endgame, but we kind of didn't. But overall, the huge damage in the Kyogre playing around the Scarf, and yeah, now they won't be able to do anything and accomplish much. Incineroar does win the game here, but late game Lugia actually put in some work right there. I guess I just, I mean, I guess I reveal the sucker punch. It really doesn't matter what I do here. I suppose I'm just gonna target down the Whimsicott slot with Earth Power. And yeah, they're gonna forfeit the game because they realize they can't win. But I was not expecting the Lugia to actually, yeah, Lugia actually able to put in some work in that end game. The support Pokemon, thankfully, were playing really passively, and the Kyogre and Zekrom were already really weakened or knocked out, which was fantastic. I don't know if that Zekrom actually had Protect, but if it had Protect, could have been a little bit of a different story getting the damage in the Lugia. But thankfully, with the Intimidates from Incineroar with the Reflect, it wasn't really going to be as much of a big deal unless we did get to that point where like we would be relying on like, does Kyogre actually pick up the knockout Lugia in the end game? But yeah, actually surprised that we were able to pull that one off. Just, I guess, good Lugia steering in the end. Okay, this is a team that won the Sheffield Regional Championship. I think that's what it was. Whimsicott, Calyx, Shadow Rider, Thundurus, Kyogre, Landorus Variant, and Incineroar. I don't think my team really appreciates this matchup. I don't think it does at all, but hey, we're gonna find out, I suppose. I guess my lead here is gonna be, I'd say, Grimmsnarl plus the Regieleki, and then in the back, Lugia plus the Groudon here. This is such a weird position and matchup for me, but I guess I got a few things that are really beneficial here. A, that I have Sucker Punch on the Grimmsnarl, which is actually going to be really handy against the Calyx Shadow Rider if they don't bring Intimidate for some reason, but I'd imagine they're going to bring their Landorus, which is going to be hurtful, but I do have Blizzard on the Lugia, at least on this team, which is going to be nice. I got to make sure that is prepared with caution, though. Landorus is definitely a scary Pokemon. I wouldn't be surprised if they lead it here. I'd say Whimsicott Landorus would make a lot of sense here alongside Calyx Shadow Rider plus Kyogre. I could also see them bring the Thundurus because Thundurus is actually pretty good against my team, especially if it's the Brick Break variant. I actually don't know what the actual sets are on this team, but yeah, we're going to see the Whimsicott plus Landorus. All right. Okay, versus Grimmsnarl and Regieleki right here. I will go for a Reflect into their slot, and I think a Volt Switch is pretty good for the most part. Yeah, I should be able to go for a Volt Switch. I could go out in, I could just go hard Lugia potentially, but I don't think that's worth the risk at all. Like, I really don't think that's worth the risk here. If my Eleki takes a, like, if my Eleki takes damage, I still have a Sash, which I think is pretty helpful here. So yeah, we're gonna Reflect here. We're gonna go for a Volt Switch. I'd imagine Landorus doesn't even have to max here. You could probably just Earthquake if you want to, but yeah, Tailwind is gonna come out. If you Earthquake your Whimsicott as a Jax button, that would be a really interesting story. But yeah, we are going to get a Reflect up. If you're Swords Dance, though, this is concerning. They do just Earthquake. Okay, that's cool. Earthquake going to come out, deal the Focus Sash into my Regieleki. Decent damage to the Grimmsnarl right here. Okay. The Focus Sash. Are you a Jax button on the Whims? You are actually a Jax button on the Whims, which actually hurts you in this position because whatever's coming in is taking a Volt Switch, which is really nice here. Okay, that's pretty ideal. It's either the Kyogre, the Thundurus, which Thundurus, I definitely like getting a Volt Switch off into Thundurus right here. That's perfect. Okay, so Volt Switch into Thundurus, which makes it a lot harder to use for Dynamax, and one of the restrictions is not in the field. I imagine it's going to be the Calyx Shadow Rider on the bench here, because if it's Calyx Shadow, like, I think you always bring Ogre in this matchup, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the Kyogre taking the bench here, but let's bring out the Lugia. Lugia in a good spot right here, especially with that Defiant. We can go for quite a few things, I suppose. I like Hailstorm right here, and I like Sucker Punch into Thundurus just for the damage. Yeah, I do like that. I think just getting a Hailstorm off does really a good amount of work to the Landorus. I don't really, yeah, I have Sucker Punch for the Calyx Shadow Rider. It definitely could be my end game plan against it if it is going to be in the back. No Dynamax on their side. I don't think this will support Thundurus. I really don't think it was. Are they saving their Dynamax for Kyogre? We will Dynamax the Lugia here. If they fly here, I guess that's awkward. And I guess if they go for an Eerie Impulse, it's Eerie Impulse. Was it not Define on the Thundurus? I thought it would be Define on the Thundurus. All right, let's see. We're going to see a... Okay, no, it is attacking here. Sucker Punch into the Thundurus. Good damage. Earthquake. Okay. So that's cool. Earthquake's not really going to do that much to the Grimm here. Is it a double up in the Grimm? Brick Break? No, Wall Charge. Okay, so it's going down to Recoil. Grimm survives, but I'm probably going down to Hail. Although, I don't think... Oh, I didn't get Light Screen up. This... I did not get Light Screen up. Okay. Wait, did I screw myself over with going for the Hailstorm? I was expecting a Dynamax there from one of their Pokemon. Okay, Hail is up. If Grimmsnarl survives, this would be really nice, but I really don't think so. Okay, maybe I should have went for the light screen instead, because I didn't think they would double up the Grim there. I thought they would try to get damage and break the multi-scale on the Lugia, but okay, let's go Eliki here, I suppose. If it's Calyx Shadow Rider, our Lugia is really going to have to carry some weight here, although at least it's not oh, it's Kyogre. Okay, that makes it so much easier. That makes it so much easier. We bring out our Eliki. Fantastic. We can go for a Airstream into the Whimsicott, and I feel like Groudon's a bit too scripted and too obvious right here. Although I don't know how much damage Kyogre does. It does do a lot. Lugia has good special defense. I just don't know if it would be enough right here. I guess I could Protect though. Yeah, I think Protect and Airstream is a pretty good play, because there's also a chance that they might decide to go for a, well, actually some of the Lugias have been running fake tears lately. Oh, this is concerning. Well, if it's fake tears, we'll find out. I'm gonna Airstream the Lugia. The Whimsicott. I feel like Helping Hand would be more likely here. I just don't know, because I don't know if you're gonna go for a Geyser here. I thought there was a chance to just be Helping Hand Water Spout right here, and that would do a lot of damage to Lugia. If this is a water type move, Groudon was always the play, but I'm expecting Hailstorm. I'm expecting Hailstorm or Lightning. I think Hailstorm makes a lot of sense here, but we'll see. We're gonna Protect. Okay, they protect a Whimsicott and not a Helping Hand coming out at least. Okay, so I do have some, unless this is a Hailstorm right here, but I guess technically Eliki goes down to the Hailstorm recoil, so it doesn't matter. They went for a Geyser. Okay, and that's cool. They targeted Eliki. All right, that's probably best case scenario. They didn't get that much damage in the Lugia just yet, which is positive for me. It says, do I have enough firepower to actually deal with the Kyogre remaining? An Airstream is going to come out into the Lugia, into the Whimsicott, do an okay amount through the Protect. That should put it in range of Max Quake. I hope Lugia's special attack isn't exactly amazing without that policy activation. But yeah, we're going to go into Groudon here. We're going to go for a Max Quake, and we're going to go for Protect right here. I wonder how fast the Kyogre is, but I imagine it's faster than the Lugia +1, especially since I think you should, if you make that play, you're going to be like faster than Eliki, than I imagine. So we're going to go for a Protect here, and we're going to go for a Max Quake, which is my play here. And then I guess the next turn is going to be the really confusing one. Helping Hand is going to come out. I don't know if this is attacking the Lugia or attacking the Groudon. I think either one kind of works out for me, specifically if it's a target into the, actually I don't know. Let's see. A Max Geyser is going to be fired off. You are faster, looks like. Okay, into my Groudon. Okay, that's ideal. Because Groudon, ooh, I would have survived that, it looks like. Okay, I would have survived that. All right. So we do get the rain up. The Max Quake is going to be fired off, and please knock out the Whimsicott here. Okay, good enough to knock out the Whimsicott. Fantastic. All right, we get a +1 special defense on the Groudon. We have a +1 special defense on our on a Lugia here. This upcoming turn's gonna be questionable, but we do have the leftovers on the Groudon, which I don't know if it's gonna be enough to really help out here. Tailwind does peter out for their side, which is really nice. And then this upcoming turn, how much are you doing with the Kyogre? I think that's the big question. How much are you actually doing with Kyogre? Because also, I think this is also a target mind game, because if you target down the Groudon here, I'm in an awkward spot if I Protect Lugia. So I don't know. I kind of want to just go for a Aeroblast into the Kyogre, get some damage off, because if they target the Lugia, I should survive one. I guess the question is, am I living an Origin Pulse afterward? That's the big question. But I think it's time to gamble. We'll go for an Aeroblast into the Kyogre, because the Protect might be a bit too obvious. We get the damage. We're going to see a Max Geyser, because it's going to be really hard to damage that Kyogre otherwise. They do target down the Groudon. Okay, so Aeroblast was the right play. I don't know if I have enough firepower to deal with the Kyogre, though. I really don't know. I think I needed a light screen up earlier instead of the Sucker Punch. Yeah, that was probably the biggest misplay here. Let's see. I stall out a turn of rain. Yeah, I stall out a turn of rain now, because like I don't need to... Reflect doesn't matter. 3 turns of rain, so I Protect, Aeroblast, and then Protect again. And we also weaken the Kyogre at the same time. Can Lugia win this 1v1? We'll find out. Origin Pulse is going to be fired off. Okay, that makes sense. Aeroblast did no damage to that Kyogre. Wait, is that an Assault Vest Kyogre on this team? Was it Assault Vest on the original? Okay, or is that just Kyogre just being super bulky and Lugia just, you know, 90 special attacks that Aeroblast is going to come out into the Kyogre. If we get a crit, that'd be nice. Okay, that has to be Assault Vest, I'm pretty sure. An Origin Pulse is going to be fired off. Okay. I think that has to be Assault Vest. Origin Pulse in the rain does a lot. Okay. Last turn, Protect. I think we're losing this war unless the Aeroblast crits the Kyogre twice. Or we live 2 Origin Pulses and it's a 3 KO, which, or if they miss, that could definitely be a thing too. So there are outs here. Reflect wears off, which doesn't matter at all. We're going for the Aeroblast. We also can miss our attacks as well, but it's like really less likely here. Aeroblast going to come out. We also have a high crit chance rate. Let's see. Damage in the Kyogre, not really existent. Okay, that's the next Origin Pulse right there. How much is doing to the Lugia? 93 to... Okay, yeah, we are... Unless it's missing a bunch in a row and I get 2 crits or something like that. This is looking pretty bad. Lugia, Aeroblast into the Kyogre. Yeah, unfortunately Lugia just not enough power wise. Okay. I guess I had to Precipice Blades that one turn. I didn't expect it to be a Assault Vest Kyogre. I didn't actually watch the regional at all from perspective, so I don't know if it was actually the Assault Vest Kyogre on this team because I actually don't know the information. But if it was Assault Vest on the Kyogre, I guess I had to go for a light screen earlier. I thought like if there was a Kyogre in the back, we'd be able to beat it with the Lugia, and I feel like if it was like any other Kyogre than Assault Vest, then yeah, we would be able to. But because it was the Assault Vest, I think I needed light screen up 100%. I was a little bit worried about Brick Break on the Thunderous, but yeah, I think I should just went for it anyway, because Brick Break wouldn't have knocked out my my Grimmsnarl unless they doubled up there with a max move from the Landorus right there. So I could have also went for the Self Sucker Punch earlier. Maybe the Self Sucker Punch would have actually been really useful there, but to activate the policy, I just wasn't sure if they were actually going to target on the Lugia or not, the upcomings, because that could have been really scary, especially if they Dynamax one of those 2 Pokemon. Could have been really threatening, especially to the rest of my team. Landorus, we do have Hailstorm, but the Thunderous, a little bit hard to actually deal damage to right there. And yeah, that was the tricky part about this matchup. And that is the show. Lugia overall, it is interesting, I'll say, for sure. I've had a lot of games with the team where it just like it was really hard to bring. There were just like it was a bit too defensive because of course this team does lack immediate offensive pressure unless you go with like the Self Sucker Punch with the Dynamax Lugia immediately. Otherwise you do kind of struggle to dish out a lot of damage. I don't know if the Venusaur was Life Orb on this team, but maybe that could provide a more offensive route, and maybe it is. I went with the Kobe Berry, but maybe Life Orb does make more sense. But yeah, I mean, there are a few Pokemon that also gave me a lot of trouble with this team. Indy can be a little bit annoying, especially with the Psych Seed. It's really hard to KO immediately. There's also Kyurem White. Kyurem White is the big one. The C does exactly hit the best Kyurem White matchup. Your match was probably like going for Thunder Wave or Sleep Powders. And John did mention on Twitter that, yeah, Kyurem White is a really hard Pokemon to stop. But yeah, fun team overall. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like down below. Leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. If you want to check out my recreation, down below in the description. I don't know how close it is to the original, but you could go check it out. And yeah, you could also check out the rest of my other stuff, like my other series 12 videos where I use a lot of cool teams and a lot of fun Pokemon. But that's going to be it for me. Have a great day, people, and until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.